Kyoto is a unique cultural experience unlike any other in Japan. In this video, we will be exploring 7 must-see places that showcase the rich history, stunning architecture, and natural beauty that makes Kyoto a must-visit destination. And I will tell you how you can do all of Kyoto in one insane day. Would you try this? Let's go to Kyoto.
Next station is Kyoto.
I'll start off by saying that you could spend a week in Kyoto and still not see everything. This city is the ancient capital and cultural heart of Japan. Kyoto was the capital of Japan for over 1,000 years, and it has over 1,600 temples and shrines. So buckle up because we are about to fly through Kyoto. Let's dive into it. This list is arranged in the order that you should visit each place in order to see everything in one day. And I do recommend spreading these things out over multiple days so that you can enjoy Kyoto to its fullest. Anyway, back to speedrunning Kyoto in one day. Starting off the day early in the morning, I would suggest around 6 or 7 a.m. depending on the time of year that you are there in Kyoto. Basically, at first glimpse of morning light, start off with our number 7 spot, the Fushimi Inari Shrine. It's 7 a.m. We're at the Inari Gate in Kyoto here. Decent bit of people. It's not too crowded, so we're gonna go try to explore this and see what we can find. But man, super excited to be in Kyoto. The Fushimi Inari Shrine is one of the most iconic landmarks not only in Kyoto, but in all of Japan. This iconic shrine has been around since the year 711, making it over 1,300 years old. This means that it was formed before Kyoto was the capital of Japan. That's insane. The Fushimi Inari Shrine is said to have approximately 10,000 torii gates. However, some conflicting information online puts the number somewhere between 3,000 and 30,000 torii gates. But either way, that's a lot. Each gate is a donation from individuals or businesses, so the writing on the gate shows the name of the individual or business and the date of the donation. To do the full round trip loop up the mountain, you will need around 2 hours, maybe a bit more. But in this scenario, to see Kyoto in a day, we won't have time to do the full loop. This shrine is covered with torii gates literally from the entrance of the shrine. So getting here early, you'll be able to take amazing photos without people in them, even at the entrance itself. However, if you do come here at say 10 a.m. or later, then there will be a lot of people everywhere and it will just be really hard to be able to take those photos without all the people in it. And you'll have to go fairly far up the mountain to do so if you want to, because a lot of people stay near the base of the mountain. Not a lot of people hike all the way to the top. So if you're coming later in the day and you really want to get those photos without people, then just keep hiking farther up. This is the comparison video when we got here at 7. Right now it's 9 and it's pretty crowded. An alternative for getting good photo time in is to come later in the evening or at night, as the shrine is open 24 hours a day and is often fairly empty at night. The shrine itself is free to enter. The area in front of the shrine has a lot of food stalls and has a train station, and this is extremely important to know if you're planning on taking a taxi or using the Go app. There are a ton of trains and pedestrian traffic trying to cross this one little bridge across the river right in front of the Fushimi Inari Shrine. Now, the reason why this comes into play is because I used the Go app to go get a taxi to come pick me up in front of the Fushimi Inari Shrine. However, the taxi was coming from the other side of the river. We waited 40 minutes for the taxi to get from literally right on the other side of the river to where we were. The train bars would literally come down and we would wait maybe 5 minutes or whatever. They would go back up, and as soon as they reached the top, they would come back down. Like there was no break. And every time as they were going up, tons of pedestrians would flood the bridge to cross. So basically the taxis were stuck there for a really long time. When the taxi finally got over to us about 40 minutes later, the taxi driver was really apologetic for all the delays, which is insane because it wasn't his fault or anything like that. I felt bad for making him wait through all of that. But anyway, the moral of the story here is if you were going to take a taxi or something like that, cross the pedestrian bridge to get to the other side of the river. It's going to make your life a lot easier, and try to do so before all the congestion gets in. But if you're going this early in the morning, you're wrapping up fairly quickly, then this shouldn't be a problem. All right, moving right along. At number 6, we have our next stop, which is the Toji Temple. The Toji Temple is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is home to the iconic 5-story pagoda, which stands 187 feet tall or 57 meters. This is Japan's tallest wooden structure and is one of the most recognizable landmarks not only in Kyoto, but in Japan. The temple itself was founded in the year 796, and on the 21st of every month, there is a lively flea market that is hosted here. So if you happen to be here during that time, it can be worth checking out. Though again, on our Kyoto speedrun, the main goal here is just checking out this iconic pagoda. And something to note, there is no entrance fee for entering this temple area. For this specific one-day Kyoto itinerary, I do advise using the Go app to book taxis conveniently where you are. However, in most of the major tourist attractions, there are areas where taxis will be waiting nearby, so you can definitely use those too. There is a pretty major difference between the two, and I'll go over that in a bit, but for now, we'll book our taxi and make our way to spot number 5, and that is Nijo Castle. This is one of Kyoto's most iconic castles and was built in 1603. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, showing its historical importance and cultural significance. The castle's stunning and unique architecture make it stand out amidst the modern buildings of Kyoto. Nijo Castle is famous for its nightingale floors, which were designed to chirp like a bird when walked on. This was designed to protect the shogun from intruders and added a unique charm to the castle. The gardens around the castle are also worth viewing, as they are a stunning space offering greenery and colors in contrast to the urban downtown of Kyoto. Entry into Nijo Castle is not free, but it's not bad for a tourist spot, and it costs around 800 yen for entry, and that's about $5 at the time of writing this video. It also costs an additional 500 yen to enter the interior of the palace. You don't need reservations, though you can buy tickets online in advance. There is a very convenient taxi waiting area right in front of the palace itself, so that will make it really easy to go and take a taxi to your next spot. However, keep in mind that these are regular taxis. These are not the Go app taxis. Now, what's the difference? The regular taxis tend to be a bit older and narrower and a tad less clean. Is it bad? Well, no, but the Go taxis in comparison are much cleaner and newer and just a bit roomier in my experience. Also, when you use the Go app to book a Go taxi, you pay in advance, so you know exactly how much the trip will cost. However, with the regular taxis, they do have their fare meters, so you won't exactly know how much it's going to cost till you arrive. Both do take credit cards, so in my experience, it made it fairly convenient. Check out my 10 things to know when going to Japan video for more on the differences between the taxis and many more tips on Japan itself. Before we go to spot number 4, I will say that you could make a stop nearby Nijo Castle at Menbaka Fire Ramen for lunch if you want a unique Kyoto exclusive experience. This place has gone viral online because of, well,
Ready? Fire! Okay, ready? Fire! Okay, ready? Fire!
The experience is very unique from this restaurant that's been around since 1984, with its ramen recipe much older than that. Before all of the fire happens, they give you instructions on what not to do, and basically it's just sit there, don't move, don't freak out. They will capture the experience for you on your phone, and they have it down to a science, with phone mounts placed all over the area facing all of the seats so that everyone basically can capture their own experience. Speaking of seats, there are only around 12 seats here, so it can get pretty busy and crowded here fairly quickly. So I would say that if you really want to go here, I would try to go early around the time that they open. I will say that it is kind of pricey even by Japan standards for a bowl of ramen here, because you are paying for the experience. I thought the ramen itself was fine and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything life-changing either. It had a very smoky flavor to it, and well, I wonder why. Anyway, this is all up to you if you want a Instagram worthy lunch here or if you want to save some money and go eat elsewhere. But I do think that the experience in and of itself is worth the cost, and it's pretty unique. I think it's worth doing once. Moving right along to spot number 4, this is one that alongside the Fushimi Inari Shrine, people do recommend going to very early in the morning, and this is the Arishiyama Bamboo Forest. For the sake of our one-day itinerary, we won't be able to go early, but if you get lucky, you still can get a few good photos without people here. Though if you are taking the bullet train out of Kyoto to go somewhere else the next day, then technically you might have time to go to the Arishiyama Bamboo Forest early in the morning to get all those photos, depending on your train schedule. Anyway, the Arishiyama Bamboo Forest has boomed in popularity despite not being the largest bamboo forest in Kyoto. If you want a more tranquil experience, it may be worth looking into some other bamboo forests in Kyoto with less people there. Though Arishiyama has become very famous, so if you want to be able to say that you've been there, then don't miss out. The bamboo forest itself is very walking friendly, and you'll be surrounded by the massive bamboo stalks that can grow up to around 65 feet or 20 meters tall. This area is often featured in films and music videos, adding to its cultural significance. The bamboo forest itself is free to enter and walk around. The area directly in front of the Arishiyama Bamboo Forest is also a fun and lively place with lots of restaurants, stores to shop in, and places to spend time, walk through, and check out. But time is something that we don't have today, so let's go ahead and use the Go app to book a taxi to go to our next spot, because the narrow street right in front of the Arishiyama Bamboo Forest has no waiting taxis. So unless you're going to wait around and hope you get lucky with a free taxi, I would use the Go app. Moving along to number 3 on our list, we have Kinkakuji Temple, also known as the Golden Pavilion. Why? Well, let's have a look. This stunning pavilion is one of Japan's most iconic cultural structures. The pavilion itself is 3 stories tall, with the top 2 being covered in gold leaf. The gold coating makes the pavilion stand out against the surrounding greenery, and if you get lucky and the wind isn't blowing, the lake will be perfectly still, allowing you to get a mirror reflection of the pavilion in the water. I didn't quite get that, as it was fairly windy and raining the day that I was there, but the pavilion itself still looked really stunning. The pavilion itself was built in 1397 as a luxury retirement villa for the shogun and was later converted into a temple. Kinkakuji Temple is on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites for Kyoto. There is an entrance fee of 500 yen to enter here, and they do not take credit cards, so you will need some cash on hand. The Golden Pavilion is the main attraction here, with the surrounding area being a garden that you do have to walk through to exit. However, again, we're in a rush here, so after seeing the temple, make your way out of here and go and catch a taxi. You'll notice that I'm focusing mainly on taxis for transportation, and while there are other ways of getting around like buses and trains in Kyoto, for the sake of doing all of Kyoto in one day, we will need the efficiency of going to and from where we're going directly. On to spot number 2, we will come to another UNESCO World Heritage Site location for Kyoto. This is Kiyomizu-dera. This is one of Kyoto's most iconic landmarks, with the temple being fairly large, and it was founded in the year 778. The main hall and stage are all built out of wood without the use of any nails. Walking on the stage itself does feel a little bit scary, as it has a slight slope to it and areas do creak as you walk. Just letting you know. There is also a pagoda here, which makes for some stunning photos as well. Now, before we go to our number 1 spot, here is a bonus location for you if you have the time. Right outside of Kiyomizu-dera, you will find streets lined with stores, and this is a really fun place to shop around and explore. It has a vibe that's just purely unique to Kyoto, and it's just unlike any other area, so be sure to check it out. As you walk down the streets here, you can make your way to the Hoang Temple for the world-famous photo, with the old streets of Kyoto on the side and the Yasaka Pagoda in the background. This spot is iconic for Tokyo and can get very, very crowded, and if you want photos without people in it, then you're gonna have to go either very early in the morning or very late at night. Though our timeline here, we don't have that option. I really can't emphasize how amazing this area is, with all of its stores and just that old-timey feel here. You just feel the sense of just all the culture of Japan here, and if you have the chance, I highly advise checking this out. Now, moving on to our number 1 spot, we will go back downtown into the more modern sprawl of Kyoto and make our way to the Nishiki market. This market is often referred to as Kyoto's kitchen, as it is a vibrant area with lots of culinary masterpieces and is a food lover's paradise. The market has been around for over 400 years and originally started as a fish market. Now it is a massive market with over 100 shops all covered to allow for shopping, rain or shine. There are a lot of phenomenal street food places here, so you don't want to miss out on that. Though on the topic of food, my personal recommendation is to go to Gyukatsu in Kyoto for the most insane meal. Here you can get the most amazing A5 Wagyu beef breaded as katsu and prepared for you to grill yourself to your liking, and it is the most amazing thing that you can experience. The price itself is also not bad for what you get, as all of our meals came out to around $40 per person. And this was probably the single best thing that I ate while I was in Japan. Wait times here can get fairly long at these restaurants as they are pretty popular. We were at the Nishiki market and made our way to the closest one, which at the time, without doing any research, turned out to be quite small and had more limited seating than some of the other places. Having given up on our katsu dinner dreams, we made our way to one other location nearby. Surprisingly, when we got there, we got seated right away. This location is in the basement of the building, and while I've only experienced this one location of gyukatsu, I will say that the staff was super friendly and the food was top notch. Super good. Good old tender.
Really good.
Really good?
You gotta dip in the radish too.
Try that.
I'm just gonna try it straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It just melts straight into your mouth. It's so good. After eating, continue exploring the Nishiki market along with the streets of stores that line this area. This is the best way to end the day, by shopping and eating amazing food. There's a lot of shopping to do here, so don't miss out. So obviously this isn't literally everything in Kyoto, and there's still so much more to see and do, but if you want to maximize your time in Kyoto and more importantly, one single day in Kyoto, experience everything, then this is all of the major highlights the city has to offer. That being said, if you do get the chance to stay longer, then you definitely should do that. This itinerary is based off of what my group did in our very, very brief time in Kyoto, and our biggest regret of our whole Japan trip was not spending more time there in Kyoto. Kyoto is an amazing mix of ancient history, Japanese culture, and modern wonders, and it really is worth visiting while you're in Japan. What are your favorite places in Kyoto? Would you attempt this insane schedule? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.